Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're talking all about turmeric in skincare, and I thought it'd be appropriate to wear a yellow sweater even though it is really warm outside now. I thought it might be cute to wear a yellow sweater just to match what we're talking about. So turmeric is nothing new in the world of wellness and health. It has been used for hundreds of years in India in Ayurvedic medicine. I can tell you personally that turmeric has played a very large role in my wellness journey because as an Indian growing up in an Indian family with an Indian mom, my mom has a lot of home remedies that involve using turmeric. I can remember specifically when I had a sore throat or a cough, she would mix hardar, which is turmeric, and honey and make me eat it, and it just tasted so disgusting, but the honey made it slightly okay. But for some reason that would really calm down the inflammation in my throat and make me feel a lot better. Definitely turmeric with regards to health is nothing new to me, and turmeric in skincare is also nothing new to me because in Indian culture, in Hindu weddings, we have this ceremony called piti, where basically the bride and groom sit together and they get smeared with turmeric paste all over their body and their face. And I don't really know the religious significance of it, but I know like a cosmetic standpoint, it's supposed to help the skin glow and that kind of thing, so that's why they smear the turmeric all over the bride. But really it just stains your skin, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do for my own wedding because I don't want to be yellow on my wedding day. Let's get into the science of turmeric. Turmeric is composed of curcumin, which is actually the active phytochemical in turmeric, and phytochemical just means a chemical derived from plants. Pure turmeric powder has about 3.14% curcumin by weight, so it's really not a lot of active ingredient, if you want to call curcumin the active ingredient in turmeric. But this curcumin active ingredient is anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antioxidant. Now, a little bit about the properties of curcumin. It is hydrophobic, which means it is water hating, so it'll repel water. It's not soluble in water. And this will actually affect how curcumin can penetrate the skin, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Curcumin is also very, very safe at very high dosages, which makes it very interesting from a pharmacological perspective. But it has very poor bioavailability in the body. And basically what bioavailability is it's the ability for an active ingredient to penetrate in the circulation and have an active effect. It has more to do with oral consumption as opposed to topical application, but that's just something to keep in mind, that turmeric or curcumin has very poor bioavailability in the human body. It is very, very rapidly metabolized by the body, so it doesn't stay in the body for very long. Again, this has more to do with oral consumption than topical, but it's just something to keep in mind. So now let's get into the studies all about the topical application of curcumin with regards to skin diseases and skin health. So there was a study performed over the course of 4 weeks that compared how acne was affected by topical application of curcumin and also for consumption of curcumin. So it was actually doing both. The study subjects were both consuming curcumin and also being topically applied curcumin to the skin. And what they found is that curcumin definitely helped lessen the acne, but my problem with this study is that it was only 4 weeks long and most acne studies are 8 to 12 weeks long. So I would want to see a longer study in order to really study the effects of curcumin on acne. I also would want to see a study where they only did topical application and not oral consumption, because I think the average person is more looking for a skincare product to help with their acne as opposed to taking a pill or taking some sort of supplement with curcumin in it. So that was the acne study that I found. And then also photoaging is something really important that I want to talk about, because photoaging, even though we promise to wear sunscreen, sometimes it just doesn't happen and photoaging happens. And so photoaged skin is very fragile and it has a lot of hyperpigmentation on it because of the UV damage. So there was a study using turmeric, rosemary, and centella gel. All these ingredients were combined into kind of like a paste gel type thing. It showed a statistically significant improvement in skin firmness over a 4-week period, which is really exciting because skin firmness is something very hard to regain after it's been lost because of the collagen depletion. So the fact that this mix of curcumin and rosemary and centella improves skin firmness is really, really exciting. But because of the nature of the study, because of how they combined all these 3 ingredients into a single gel, we don't actually know if it's curcumin or not that's actually causing the skin firmness. We can guess that it probably does have something to do with it, but personally, I would want to see a study that isolates just curcumin gel to see how skin firmness improves or not. So psoriasis is a skin disease that some people struggle with, and they did a study studying 40 men, which is a pretty small sample size if I want to interject my own opinion here. So anyway, they had 40 men aged 40 to 80 years old with psoriasis treated with a gel with 1% curcumin. And it actually showed a very significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms. So that's pretty telling because psoriasis can be something very, very difficult to deal with. And so the fact that this curcumin gel, even at only 1%, really helped improve the skin, that is something really, really exciting. But personally, I would just want to see a bigger sample size to improve the statistical power of the study. So the next study that I found was on radiodermatitis, and there were actually a lot of studies that I found on radiodermatitis. And basically what radiodermatitis is, when you undergo radiation therapy as a cancer patient, you can often experience dermatitis on the skin. And so this study had 50 subjects with radiodermatitis receiving a turmeric cream or as a control baby oil. And people receiving the turmeric cream showed a statistically significant improvement in their skin compared to the baby oil group, which is, again, really exciting. And then I also found a lot of studies on wound healing, especially in diabetic patients or diabetic rats. So they had diabetic rats, and what they did is they used normal curcumin and curcumin nanoparticle gel in order to determine whether or not these two curcumin kind of formulations were effective at wound healing. And they actually found that the nanoparticle curcumin gel performed way better than any of the other formulations that they used. So the rate of wound closure using the curcumin nanoparticle gel was 93.3%, but then the curcumin, like just normal curcumin gel, was only 58.3%. So the nanoparticle formulation was definitely way more effective at wound healing than normal curcumin gel. So let's quickly jump back a little bit and talk about the poor bioavailability. So because it has really poor bioavailability and it's also water insoluble, it's not able to dissolve in water, it is water hating, it's hydrophobic. Normally you need to use nanoparticles or liposomes in order to have more effective oral or topical delivery. So actually when I was doing my research, the vast majority of topical application curcumin studies were done using either liposomes or nanoparticles. So smearing turmeric on your face is probably not going to be as effective as the studies showing the topical benefits of curcumin are, because most of these studies are using encapsulated curcumin in liposomes or nanoparticle curcumin, which is just not how normal turmeric that you buy from the grocery store comes. And then also only 3% of turmeric is actually the active ingredient curcumin, so that's also something to keep in mind. How does curcumin work in the skin? It actually all boils down to dysregulation of the inflammatory response. Inflammatory response is heat, pain, swelling, that kind of thing. So it actually down-regulates inflammatory targets and inhibits many inflammatory cytokines in the skin. And also curcumin, based on its chemical structure, is an antioxidant, so it can actually quench free radical damage, which is really, really cool. So although curcumin is extremely safe to use, it does have a number of drawbacks like I talked about. The biggest drawback that I can think of from a cosmetic standpoint is that it will definitely stain your skin. Curcumin is a very, very, very strong yellow pigment, and it will definitely stain your skin. So doing a turmeric mask, especially if you have fair skin, I would really be careful with that because you can definitely stain your skin. It's not permanent, but you might be walking around looking really, really yellow and kind of jaundiced for a couple days. It's also very strongly hydrophobic, so it can be very difficult to formulate in skincare. And then also the delivery into the skin isn't so simple. You can't just stick turmeric into a product and claim that it's going to be 100% effective because, like I said, curcumin is only 3% of turmeric. Curcumin is hydrophobic, and curcumin oftentimes needs to be encapsulated in a liposome or formulated to be a nanoparticle in order to really penetrate into the skin. But overall, there is some evidence that curcumin can be really, really great for skin, and all the research is there that in vitro it's a fantastic ingredient, but unfortunately in vivo, in live human studies and live rat studies, it can be a little bit difficult to deal with just because of all the drawbacks I discussed. But overall, I haven't found any really, really good studies to really back up using turmeric in your skincare. I'm not saying that turmeric is bad for your skin. It's definitely not bad for your skin, that's for sure. It can stain your skin, which can be bad, but from a physiological standpoint, it will not harm your skin because it's very, very safe. I think we definitely need more large-scale clinical studies in order to determine truly how the mechanisms work and figure out how turmeric can be used effective topically. So that's kind of the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and spending this time with me. I hope you learned something new. Let me know if you've tried any DIY turmeric skincare and if you've seen any improvements. There are definitely skincare products on the market that have turmeric in them. I just haven't tried them personally, but it's definitely an area of interest. So if you have any recommendations for me, then definitely let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending this time with me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Have a beautiful week and I will see you in my next video. Bye.